Hello and welcome to the Grimy Outdoors podcast. I am the Invisible Man, Kyle.
I'm AJ.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Ryan.
Just a floating head over here. I got out of the way so no one else would make that stupid joke. I'm wearing camouflage.
Oh,
for those of you just listening to it.
it.
You didn't? Oh, that's good. Good for you. That's how far above you are that humor. Good for you. Good for you.
It's rough.
I hate that joke. Me and Ryan got to go film a video after this for a Summit Treestand Safety Awareness month. So, don't fall is my advice for all of you out there getting ready for tree
There it is.
stand.
That's the video.
Wear a harness.
Yeah.
Don't fall.
We're going to have to walk through exactly what the script is because I don't really have that much experience.
But not with climbing tree stands either.
No.
We've only done pretty jankety,
We've done
risky.
We know the ways not to.
we have plenty of footage of the what not to do video.
Yes.
This is the first time where we got to do the what to do video.
Yeah.
But that should be coming out, and I'm going to look like an expert in it because Ryan's going to protect me because he knows
Nice.
all the language.
I would like to let you guys know I've appreciated our time together. Probably will still do the show, but this is probably going to be my last podcast.
You'll do the History Channel show still though.
Yeah.
Thank God. This is a celebration for all.
I
of us.
had a dream.
True.
This is the best day ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's
I
going
had
to be
a-
gone.
All right, you're out.
I
I had
Can't
a
be.
I had a dream on. No, you didn't say anything. I had a dream on Monday that I won the lottery. So I went out. It wasn't specific. I didn't get numbers in my dream, but I won the lottery. A lot of money.
Mhm.
Awesome. So I went to the store and I bought $30 in lottery tickets. And then I lost. And then today, while I was at the store buying stuff for our upcoming cooking shoot that we have, a random gentleman walked up to me and said, "Good luck," and handed me this lottery ticket. And it's for one entry to Fantasy 5 double play. Top prize is $6 million.
I was
Oh,
trying to see
okay.
what the top prize was right now.
So
You know,
That's awesome.
it is.
20 second place prizes of $100,000, which is still enough.
He might be a time. He might be a time traveler
Maybe.
That'd be
and
crazy.
picked you out for some
Did he look?
reason.
Did he look like an
Didn't-
old me?
Didn't look anything like either of us.
What?
You show a picture. It's literally just Ryan, but just
I have a
gray.
must-
No.
I have the glasses and mustache on. With
There
the
was
fake
that
nose.
one picture that I found of a random guy at some point on the internet that looked exactly like you. You remember that?
No, I don't.
And I was like, that's Ryan's doppelganger when he's 50.
How funny would it be though? It's like it is Ryan, and Ryan came back in time, but he's got gray hair, but a Hitler stash. And we're like, dang, I can't believe they brought that back. I thought that was dead forever.
I can't talk about it, but once there was...
oh God.
other people time traveled and things changed. Okay, so
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Took me forever to figure out what door to walk through to make sure I got to this timeline.
I think. Speaking of dreams,
Hold on, before we move on, I think it's worth noting that, and I'm a little worried about where you're headed, but it's worth noting that Jeff and I, when we were little, we didn't comprehend math too well and how likely it was to win the lottery.
we had just completed our first lemonade stand.
And we were very sure that we were going to run into a lot of money at some point, but we were worried because we had been best friends since we were 5, which at this point was like 4 years in.
Yeah. Half our life.
Yeah.
And we just made $11 on a lemonade stand, so we're rolling in money already. This is easy.
Wait till the leaves start falling and we start raking. But when we were there, I was like, it was my idea, which I'm going to come up with it now because of the whole ticket thing. But we decided because we didn't want to ever change our relationship and have it like one friend depend on the other and like ruin the friendship, that if either of us ever wins the lottery, we have to split it even. And then for we like shook hands on it. And our agreement with money was, we're like, well, what if it's like a small amount? It's not a big deal. And we're like, okay, something life-changing, like a big amount. Anything over $10,000, we got to split. Yeah, that's like, because as a kid.
Wow.
It's like, that'll change our life.
You know how many video games and bikes you can buy with $10,000?
Exactly. So that was the agreement we made, which I felt like we should get a reminder on now,
it's
since
on.
Ryan's future Hitler self came back and gave you the
On record,
gave you the
yep.
money.
I feel like it would be better.
Number
whoever wins.
9 because they say
No.
I feel like it would be better to whoever wins keeps the money, so then you're not paying double 50% tax.
we'll figure it out. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he wins, we'll go to Ken. Ken will open up an LLC. It'll get.
Yeah.
We'll handle it.
Yeah.
It'll be
would
invested
like
so
the
quick we
I-
might not pay taxes. You
Would
get Ken
like
Colley
the
involved.
idea of getting the money first, lording it over you for a while.
Yeah.
You give it a couple weeks before.
Well, you'd like a new truck, huh?
What was the scenario? This guy's just walking up to you and just says, "Here you go."
What did he
or
look like?
Yeah.
I was
Who
looking
is this
for.
time
I
traveler?
needed 9-volt batteries for the
I
office.
picture a fat guy.
And I was waiting at the customer care thing at VG's because I don't know where the batteries
The
are.
one over
Couldn't
here or
find
the
them.
one by Home Depot?
One over here.
Okay.
And I'm waiting, and he's in line in front of me. And then as he is getting ready to leave, he turns to me and goes, "Here, can you hold this for a second?" I go, "Okay." So I take it, and I see it's one of those. I go, "Oh, I'll give you good luck." He goes, "No, you can have it. Good luck." I'm like,
That's kind of
What?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
"What?"
wild.
And he goes, "Yeah, just have it. Good luck." And then he turned around and walked away.
Have you ever seen the show Seventh Heaven, AJ? I feel like it didn't make your radar, but there used to be.
Yeah,
pretty good
I
episodes.
watched a couple.
Touched by an Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ring any bells, guys?
Dawson's Creek. I don't.
So
Never seen
now
it.
would be the time for your transition.
So he had a crazy dream. I had a crazy dream. I told you guys I'm gonna be very vulnerable here.
He's gonna
So
cry.
you know how
Defecation's
you know how,
coming.
like when we on trips how we stay
What is this?
how we like stay in the same hotel room.
Yeah.
How do I sleep?
With your knees up.
On my back with my
Yep.
knees up. I'm like this.
Yep.
He pretty much lays like that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does the podcast like that. Every road trip he's like that,
Yeah.
and he sleeps like that.
It's my favorite position. So, in this dream, we're looking for special seeds out in the woods, and it's like a jungle type situation. And
We're in a jungle looking for seeds.
a very specific type of seeds. So we're like digging through these plants.
Were they mustard seeds?
I don't know.
Nice.
I don't remember what exactly type of seed they are. But we're looking, and it's like such a tiny seed. So you have to look so carefully and dig through the dirt and the grass and everything. And it's a very exotic landscape.
Yeah, grass in the forest. It's definitely exotic.
We end up getting done.
Were there monkeys?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Hey, this dream got sidetracked real fast. We end up finding the seed and leaving. I've been watching the show Scrubs. For some reason, we end up in the Scrubs set where the movies take, or where the show.
Is it the show is real, and you're there living with the people that are in the show, or is it you're on set of a fake TV show?
No, we're with like the characters. Like the characters are the real life.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
So we're in the show,
Good question.
Sarah Chalk.
and there is a character in the show called Dr. Cox, who's like kind of like egotistical, abrasive. Well, he kind of gives us a debriefing of this team that when we get back, like when you come back from this, you guys all need to check yourself very thoroughly, like your skin and everything, for parasites, because in where we were, there's crazy parasites. And then everyone like starts looking at themselves, and then you can see like your skin like crawling with like little tiny bugs. And he goes, they will climb into any hole they can find and get under your skin and in your body.
Oh.
He goes, you need to go rinse your mouth out, clean your ears out, your nose, everything. Go pee, because they'll
Get up your peas.
they'll get up your pee-pee.
We all have something different. don't
He
we?
put a very clear emphasis on go pee. So I go pee.
Oh no!
And I freaking pissed the bed.
You wet the bed?
I wet the bed
Bedwetter.
When was this?
a few days ago.
You wait till now to tell me.
Wow.
You've been coy. You've been playing coy.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
You
You pissed the bed.
I pissed the bed. I pissed the bed. I'm laying there like this.
Oh, you're laying. Oh, you're doing your thing.
That's
And
why I
you're
was
doing your
sleeping like
bit.
this.
Were you
And I'm like,
were you flipped
oh,
up, or
I gotta.
what were you aimed
I
at?
don't know, actually.
You straight up.
I had underwear on, and he's like, go pee. I'm like, okay. And for some reason, he said, even if you got a duck walk to go pee, because somehow a physical came into place with this.
Whoa.
And so I'm laying there.
What the hell is a
And
duck walk?
They never made you duck walk?
Still bad with that mic. You can sit up.
No, I got. So I'm like this, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go pee in my stupid little brain, and I'm like, I sit up. I'm like,
I can't stop.
I just fucking pissed.
Does Jenna know?
Did it get on the sheets
I
and
told her.
everything? You got to get up and do the
It
thing.
kind of got soaked into my underwear, and then I had to
Oh.
like at 2 a.m. like
Pissy
kinda-
pants.
Yeah.
2 a.m. piss pants.
Yeah.
So was she asleep?
Yeah. I
He's
never.
married. It's fine.
I never woke her up. And then in the morning, I was like, I got something I got to
You
tell
should
you.
have just committed and like, you're like,
I blame it on the.
no, you're like peeing and you're like, I can't let her know. I'm gonna pee on her and say, look, it's a prank.
Jenna, you peed the bed. You even got some on my side.
Most of it even.
Wow.
Jeez. When's the last time you peed the bed, AJ?
2012.
Wow, you know.
Right when you
I,
did it.
well, when you start talking about, it, I'm like, I remembered.
Pretty. You guys got a lot of adult time with this. What
Yeah.
happened to you?
I honestly don't know. I woke up in pissy sheets, and it was a top bunk thing, and
Top bunk?
yeah, I was
Where
at
were you at?
a friend's house.
Hey, you been drinking?
I don't think so, but maybe. And I don't know why it happened, but I remember I did wake up, and
Oh no.
I soiled the sheets, so like they were all wet, and I like
That's embarrassing.
Was it
I didn't say
did it
anything.
yesterday.
when you say top
You
bunk,
left it?
I left it
When I say
Where were you?
He left it.
at a party's house.
when
house
when you
party?
say top bunk, I picture like one of those mattresses from camp
You were at a house
where it
party
just
not
would
drinking?
divert it. It wouldn't absorb any of it. Did it absorb it or did it just go around?
It was an actual bunk bed in someone's house.
like
I think
trying to dry a car with a
I fell asleep
microfiber
with
towel.
a bathing suit on, and I think my shorts may have absorbed half of it, and the other half was
forever engraved in a
forever
mattress.
engraved. Yeah,
And you just left?
I left.
Do you know whose house it was?
Mm-hmm.
Do they still know you?
Oh yeah.
Do they
Was
never
it-
figured it out?
Was it
I
Andy?
never figured it out. No, it was in Texas.
They figured it out.
Oh, okay.
Or they just did just now.
Right.
He's like the way he sang it. We're like, Texas. Was it your nana? He's like,
No,
he's
no.
like, yeah, she had a house party and I pissed her pants.
You pissed her pants. What I think is funny is if that happened to you, based on the way you sleep when we go on trips, if you were to wake up at 2 a.m. angry, you'd be pissed and you'd yell, "Hey, who pissed my pants?"
Yeah, I'm pretty ornery if I get woken up
Yeah.
and I didn't get the pizza that I thought we ordered.
Mhm.
But yeah, there were several occasions when I was a kid that it would happen frequently.
Really?
Yeah,
So you went through a
plastic
phase.
sheets and all. Yeah,
Wow.
I had an era for sure.
I never had that.
Mine was rolling out of the bed. I'd have one of those things put on the side of the bed that was like a blocker to
Oh,
keep
yeah,
me from
yeah,
rolling
yeah.
out. Yeah, later on we just learned I sleepwalk. When's the last time you pissed your pants, Preemie?
It happened to me,
Little piss pants premium.
I would say maybe like 4 or 5 times throughout that I can remember throughout my childhood. But it just sucks because like you didn't do anything wrong. All
Yeah.
you did was wake up. Hey, what?
I get
I
in
think
trouble
it was
for it, I
dream.
think.
It was a dream thing like yours.
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
like you're pissing in the dream, and then it
I-
just happens.
That's-
That was what the call to action was
Mhm.
in the dream. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, I gotta do that.
I'm
I don't
releasing.
want the parasites.
I'm releasing.
Imagine Jenna waking up, looking over because you're moving, you're duck walking in your sleep, and then she
I
just
don't know
sees.
what that is.
They never made you duck walk in a physical.
They maybe didn't call it that, but I don't.
You know what I'm
Is that
talking
just
about,
with
right?
Your feet like
You
pointed
go like
outward?
this.
He's like, yeah, the guy gets you naked. No, you did
Why?
not.
Why? What does that have to do with physical?
Oh wait, that might be a joke.
Yeah, dude, no one's
I
ever
think
done
my
that.
dad might have had me do
Oh no!
I believe that.
in the
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah, your dad got you naked and then
You guys never did that.
Where's this
I gotta
coming
lick
from
this.
for you? What is this?
I'm angry about
What
the
is
duck
this
walk. 'cause
spin you're
it's
putting on
It's
it?
not real.
When did he get naked?
a physical.
Not real.
I didn't get naked in physical, so
I did.
Oh yeah.
I did.
What a terrible.
you guys were
time.
naked.
I had pulled my pants.
You
and
gotta pull
underwear
the
down.
pants down.
That's
little
not
tug
naked.
and tug, and
What'd you just say?
you gotta pull your pants down. They do a little tug and tug.
It's
I
like
never got a tug
Scrotum
either.
check.
you turn your head and cough. I remember I peed the bed exactly once that I know of, and it was a dream. And I remember having the dream and being really irate about it. I was staying at Aunt Kimmy's house, and I was in Danny's bed because he was not there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being real confused too, because I was like probably 3rd or 4th grade, so I was like well beyond the age you do it. And I just peed in my dream, so I peed in real life,
Yep.
and that was it. And I remember because he had a picture of Carmen Electra on the ceiling,
Oh man.
and I remember looking up and seeing Carmen Electra and being like, in
Oh,
4th,
yeah, I'd pee on her.
because that's all you know how to
'Cause
do.
you
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
Was it a
like
saturated dream?
4th grade? No, not that I know of.
That's the duck walk.
Ryan
Which, as
showed-
it turns out, is just a prank that the parents and doctor pulling kids.
That's pretty funny. And he kicks him in the nuts.
You guys never did that.
The doctor's laughing.
No, I never did a duck walk in a physical.
No, we're proper.
They made me do that.
The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Savage Arms, better comes standard. Nosler Ammunition, world's finest bullets, ammunition, and brass. Boss Shot Shells, superior made and American made. Carlson's Choke Tubes, the only choke tube we've ever purchased. Onyx Hunt, know where you stand.
The best way to connect with the outdoors is to get outdoors. From setting up trail cameras and tending food plots to getting to your spot before dawn. At every point of the hunting season, a Tracker Off-Road ATV or side-by-side can be counted on to get the job done. Enjoy American-made quality and the great outdoors without breaking the bank. Tracker Off-Road, built for the love of country.
For every purpose, for every path, for every soul, for every season, there's a Ram.
You wait all year for these few days. The routine. The challenge. When it counts, you trust us, and we deliver. Every time. You're built to take on anything. And so are we.
In a very different topic, I wanted to just show this off real quick. We are not big buck hunters, like ever. We try to be, but we just don't really see them, and then we got to eat. So you shoot does or buttons. But I'm just kidding. No button bucks. But this deer was from last year. It was my archery buck, and it scored just over 130, which in Michigan is pretty darn good. And it's the biggest buck that I've ever shot. It was a 10-point, almost perfectly symmetrical. And we put it on a wood plaque that looks like Michigan. And that's pretty cool.
Cute.
I thought that was because you liked wintertime.
I neck shot him.
It's a mitten.
I had to neck shoot him to finish him off because that was the only shot I had. I believe that he may have been hit by a car or something because his back leg was broke. So when he came into me, he was like oblivious, not paying attention to what was going on. And I shot him once, and he went a little bit and stopped. And the only thing I could see was the neck, so I shot again. And then I kind of messed up a full mount because I used Rage broadheads, and they split his neck wide open. So that was that. But I ended up getting this awesome buck, and that's why I went with a European mount on
The
it.
rack is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder how old
Been
it is,
there.
though, because the teeth are, like, perfect, and I didn't get it aged. But my guess is it was actually probably only 2.5 or 3.5.
Guess 3.
3.5, most likely, just to get that kind of size.
Yeah. It's a good body.
Or he's on the world greatest diet.
Hmm.
But, yeah, that's my biggest buck by a long shot. That's actually the biggest buck I've ever seen in the wild. What, do you prefer European or...
I prefer European.
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For most things.
Yeah, but you also wear skulls on your pants and your
I wasn't allowed to.
Pete underwear and your. You weren't allowed to wear
was
skulls.
My mom just wouldn't buy clothes like that because she was like, it's just, she.
Good for her.
Probably the same reason why you weren't allowed to do Pokemon.
Yeah, it was like what's associated with it. Like
Right.
you didn't want your kid to look like that kid, like the blue mohawk
I was
kid.
just gonna say, yep.
Oh no,
Yep.
cartoon fun.
You already probably and you probably had the pocket knife, so you couldn't do both. That was too much. It was
Yeah.
too
Pocket
much.
knife is good.
I remember I accidentally took a pocket knife to school because I kept it in my leather vest, and I went to school and realized I had it on me the entire day, and I was like in class, and I felt like a criminal. It was like
You didn't. Okay.
third grade, and I'm like, oh my god, if I get caught with this, it's not gonna be good.
Only thought about that the whole day.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I was terrified.
Every day for a whole summer.
I remember another time I went to. Do you guys remember? AJ will remember. Jeffrey will act like he doesn't. Ryan will have no clue what we're talking about. Do you remember, like, for a while, it was the most popular thing were these bead animal things that you would make, where it was like the string and you put like the beads on and you would like
Yes.
make things.
Yeah.
I know
People,
exactly what
people
that
made
is.
fish.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
so popular
Yeah.
for like a year for us. And I remember I got a few in my Easter basket and I like made them right away.
Put
Couldn't
them
wait
on
to yeah.
backpacks and stuff.
Yep. So I remember we went to the store. We were at Kmart, me and my mom, and I remember walking up to the thing, like walking up to this area, and there was a bunch of bags of the different beads and stuff you could buy. And I remember like grabbing a thing of the beads, and like in my head, I can say this with 100% honesty, that I was like, well, I don't feel like carrying this whole time. I'll put it in my pocket for now until we get up the register, and then I'll pay for it. I remember thinking, like, that's 100% what I was thinking. And I went to put that in my pocket, and my mom lost it on me because it looked like I was stealing it.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I will tell you right now, if you ever steal something, I'll let them take you. Like, she was, like, laid into me. And I remember thinking it was just like that time when I was like, you're not going to believe what I'm about to say, so I'm not even going to say it, so I'm just going to let you yell at me. Because, like, there was no chance I was going to steal that. But it sure looked like it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't blame you for not believing me, so I didn't even argue with her. She's like, I will leave you. I will let them take you. You will go. And I was like, and then.
Who's they?
And then.
Yeah.
But
They got him.
It messed with my head then after that. Then I was like, man, what if I steal something on accident? I almost just stole that on accident. You know what I mean? Because even though I was going to
But it's
pay
a
for
good
it.
lesson not to put stuff in your pockets in a store.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was old enough to know better. I remember thinking, I'm like, why the hell would you have even thought that was okay, you moron? Like, I was so.
Yeah.
That does look like stealing.
I was very upset with myself.
I remember the first time I littered. Like I threw garbage on the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
And walked away.
No, my mom was with. We were like hiking in the woods, and I was eating a Smarties.
Yep.
And like you know how that plastic wrapper you untwist, and I was done with it, and I just like tossed it to the side. And my mom, she lost it too. You don't ever do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's true.
Won't
It's
do
a good
that.
message.
I'll eat the wrapper. But bravo to my mom for like nipping in the butt. But I was not planning to steal anything. But then I was like, man, what if you do it on accident?
Yeah.
And it like creates this weird fear. Then I was like, and then it like perpetuated to like, we go to 7-Eleven and they didn't have the Slurpee that I wanted because it wasn't spun all the way. You know, it was like just the liquid still.
Yep.
And it's like, so you walk out without buying anything. You're like, they think I stole something.
Dude, that still
Ever.
happens today.
Yeah.
I walk out of the store, I'm like, I'm not stealing. Like,
I know.
Act natural.
yeah, even though you
I
didn't take it.
I hate walking into the store with something that I know I can buy there.
Yes. That
Yeah.
one's tough.
You know, 'Cause
You like
it-
make
especially
sure
if it's
people
like
see you.
a drink, and you're only going there for one thing, and then as you're walking out, you're like,
It's just recent that like in my life where I'm like completely willing to be in a contentious situation now that like I do those things. I'm like, fucking say something. I'll
Yeah.
light you up. You know?
check the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know that I won't steal, and I'm not gonna let you tell me that I was gonna.
Yeah, I did some petty theft when I was a youth. And
No way.
My mom made me go back and do the thing where like, I'm sorry I stole, and did
Really?
the whole embarrassing thing. Yeah, and then that
Good
was
for her.
enough- that was enough.
Came, and then
That's
It
good
was
though.
enough for me to never do that again.
Yeah.
How did you like?
It was
Cry? How
oh
old
yeah,
were you?
Yeah, I was probably like 8.
You're like, I'm
Up here next to Cancun, there was an old 99-cent store, and I took like a thing, I don't remember what it was.
Do you
but
remember what the people's response were?
Yeah, they gave me the scolding. This isn't right.
Don't do that
Do
again.
this again. Next time I'm calling the cops. Blah blah blah.
Nice.
You're gonna go to jail.
they
the whole-
ruin it
whole
for
bit.
the
And they
lesson
like
your mom's
and
trying
they
to
like
teach
wink
you.
at your mom.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny.
she brings you in and they go, it's only 99
Yeah,
cents. What's
it's
your
a
problem?
$1, kid. You can have it.
How funny would it have been though if you're like, what? Your like mom takes you up there and she's like, yeah, he's stolen. You're like, I'm sorry and everything like that. And the guy goes, hey, and he just starts slapping AJ.
That's my livelihood.
The mom's like, well,
You're stealing directly from my kids.
It was $1. Yes.
Yeah, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever taken anything from a store or anything like that. I just don't. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was terrified after that day. Really,
Yeah.
I was so scared I'd do it on accident. Yeah.
What's with the battery and water?
His experiment.
He's confused. I told him to put the toaster in his bathtub. This is like a mini
A
version to
miniature
warm up to it.
One more word and I kill us.
What?
It makes C4.
Just
You go, this is nitroglycerin.
yeah. You're like, this is not water.
That's pure vodka, and that's actually a 90-volt battery.
Do you know what
What?
You know what nitroglycerin is? It's like what leaks out of dynamite.
Yes.
It's like the
Yeah.
explosive material in dynamite or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it's actually a very, very popular heart medication also?
Yes,
Yep.
I did. I was gonna say I thought it was a medical thing before I realized it was a.
I knew it as a dynamite thing
Mhm.
before, and then learned it was also. I'm like,
Yeah. I
I think it's for people who have angina.
I did know that.
Aaron's
That's a
dad
real
at
word.
Laurel's wedding was popping those, but I don't think it was really those.
popping
Shout!
anginas?
I came in the bathroom, my sister's wedding. I came in the bathroom
Was this before or after he slapped his own son on stage?
after.
It was at the reception.
And he was leaning over the urinal and like looked pretty far away, and he like went like this, and, like, figured out a pill and then took it, and I was like, "Hey man," yeah. And he goes, "It's just nitro," and I was like, "All right, I don't even know."
I know what that is.
So I like Googled it.
I don't know what that means, guy.
It's not doing well. Anyhow,
He then proceeded to with the song, shout and shout.
oh, your hands banging.
He was screaming, shout.
Yeah.
But never at a time when the song was saying shout.
like-
Oh, come on.
And he's jumping and having the time of his life.
Screaming shout, and
This
then
song could have ended and he wouldn't have known.
Laurel looks at Jeff and goes, "Do something." Jeff goes, "What am I supposed to do?"
Excuse me, sir.
Knock it off.
Stop shouting.
I'll give you something. Stop shouting. The song is misleading. It's not in order. All right.
At all.
What's with the water in the battery?
Okay. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but in the last month, there's been a pretty crazy breakthrough in science. There was a group of scientists that were studying a fault or whatever in between Mexico and Hawaii, and they found as they were going down in the ocean, pressure gets greater. The further down you go, the greater the pressure, the less ability there is for gases to be dissolved in the water. So they expect that as they're going down, that there will be less oxygen. But at a certain level, as they started getting down towards the ocean floor, they started reading increased oxygen, which is wild and goes against everything we thought was the case in the ocean. They get down to the bottom, and they find these little nodes, which I haven't seen a picture of them yet. I've only heard people talk about them, but it's like precipitate sediment, something like that.
Oh, it's called snow.
Heavy metals that precipitate out of or down through the ocean, get to the bottom of the ocean, and then there's these, I don't know which one it is, stalactites or stalagmites, like little formations on the ocean floor.
It would be
And these,
stalactites has a
these-
C in it and it comes from the ceiling.
oh, okay.
That's how I
And
remember that.
these metals that are just available, in the atmosphere and in the ocean, have conglomerated around these things and formed little balls, little nodes, and then over time they, through the motion of the ocean, become a little more circular.
Mm-hmm.
So they found all these little nodes down at the bottom of the ocean that are all of the stuff you need to make batteries. So I think it's like cobalt and nickel and copper and a couple other things. And they've just conglomerated around these little rock things. And it's wild because the entire time we've studied things and known about how oxygen works in the atmosphere, we thought all oxygen was created through light and photosynthesis, even through the oxygen that's created by some kind of bacteria or something they think still has something to do with photosynthesis. Well, they're finding a different source of oxygen that they didn't even know existed at the bottom of the ocean. It was discovered and printed in a magazine like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there's already mining companies going, well, hey, we could mine that.
Our oxygen source.
They don't know right now what the difference is between, at least last time I checked, the oxygen produced there and the oxygen produced like in the rainforest, in, you know, whatever through photosynthesis. It seems like right now it's not actually that much, but you don't know. You've got the whole, we've searched, I think it's like 10% of the entire ocean, so we don't know how much of this is in other places.
We have charted and mapped.
Oh yeah, you just did a thing on
20% of the ocean.
Okay.
And we've only actually been to 4.9% of it, and actually visually seen.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying those numbers specifically, it's debatable how much of the ocean we've actually seen. So you'll get different stats like, oh, we've charted 100% of the ocean. We've are, you know, there's only 80% we haven't, you know, uncovered yet, or whatever it is. The real issue with it is, think of it like this. If we're over a place in the ocean, like we go scuba diving and we go 50 foot down and it's 500 feet deep, did we experience that section of ocean or no? Not really, because we only really saw the top part and we didn't go any lower than that. So we haven't explored all this other section. But some people would count like the land or the piece of ocean you were in and went over, it counts. You covered it. But not really, because technically if it's 300 feet deep and I only went 50, I only actually looked at 1/6 of that section. So that's why there's so much debate over how much we've actually looked at and charted. But human beings have only actually experienced about 5%.
Water is clear. You can see through water.
No.
Just zoom in on Google Earth, stupid. But so they found all these little nodes, and one of the reasons it's so exciting, and that's why I've got the battery, is these different battery creating metals carry a charge or create a charge between them. I'm not sure about the science, but they said it's the same as taking a 9-volt battery and putting it in salt water, and you can watch little bubbles form. It's called electrolysis, where the charge from the battery separates the H2 from the O, and you end up with hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. And that's what these little rocks at the bottom of the ocean are creating.
What do they look like? Was it in a magazine?
They look like, again, I haven't actually seen them. I've only read about it, but it sounds like, I'm trying to think of what that is. It like they've taken like, there's like, it's a rock with all these little nodes on it. And I don't know if you've seen different metallic nodes where I've seen them take like bismuth and drop it into water, and then it creates all these crazy little patterns and stuff. But it's these little nodes on rocks, and maybe the rocks are fully covered, maybe they're only partially covered, but you can see the bubbles forming around the both nodes of the battery. And if I remember correctly, one of the nodes is creating hydrogen, one is oxygen, or it's just separate, but yeah, pure hydrogen. Killian seconds. Yeah, so I thought that was
getting a buzz.
I thought that was very interesting.
What's interesting is that I bought a hydrogen water bottle
Oh, here we go.
for hydrogen water, and there's supposed to be a bunch of health benefits to it. Gary Brecka did a thing on it. I'm no expert, so I'm not going to try and be, but essentially hydrogen water helps with better hydration, as well as it also helps with digestion and actually being able to absorb your vitamins and things like that. So hydrogen water is supposed to be the best water you can drink.
Does it look like that when it's doing it?
It does look just like
Yeah,
that.
it does.
Looks just like
So
that.
it might just be water
you have
that's
to
been
plug-
infused with
you have
more
to-
oxygen in
You have to plug in the water bottle,
Oh, okay.
and it adds the hydrogen over a 10-minute period, and you can see it doing exactly that.
It is that. That's funny.
That is funny. So it's
Maybe it's your body's now able to absorb more oxygen through drinking the water.
But don't drink this water.
Yeah, it's got a battery in it.
stupid, and it's salt water.
Oh yeah.
So mining companies are already like, we could just go down into the ocean and scoop these things up and make batteries, and it'd be awesome. It's like, well
that's some heavy duty equipment to get down there.
let's look at it first.
Something I didn't know in my research for the Hawaii episodes is that 70% of all the oxygen or the air that we have in our atmosphere comes from very, very small, like phytoplankton. Kelp was one of them that actually produced 70% of our oxygen. So that's you
like,
wonder if any of
hearing
those
this-
readings are off though, and like it's really coming from this too.
It's like how can they say 70% when they haven't even discovered all the ways oxygen's made?
Sure, 70% of what we know comes from this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like we think we know so much, but we don't.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about this was when they got down there, their first thought was, because we're still going off of that oxygen is made by biological, whether it be photosynthesis through plants or whatever it is, they immediately think, well, what's the life down here that's creating this? So they took cores out of the ocean floor, and they then put poison in them and let it, whatever is in there would perish, and it kept making oxygen. So they're like,
jeez.
what?
Interesting.
Yeah. So
That is
very wild.
Speaking of the ocean, my story also comes from the ocean.
Nice.
So I saw this on a TikTok video, which we can probably play a little bit of.
Nope.
But I didn't know. We can't. I didn't know whether I believed it or not at first, or it was just TikTok being TikTok, but I did some research on it. And the pitch was, this was in Southeast Asia, that there was dolphins and fishermen working together. And the pitch in the TikTok video was that the fishermen were actually able to call in the dolphins. So they would go to shore with their nets. They would like walk in the water. Kind of reminded me of like the fishing that you would see in Alaska where they use those big nets and stuff. But they're using casting or the nets that you throw out. Casting nets? Is that? Yeah. Where the thing I learned in 10,000 Islands. And they're throwing casting nets, but they would actually work with the dolphins to have the dolphins push the fish in. They would do like drop big, huge nets and stuff like that. And if the dolphins got caught, they would free the dolphin first and then bring in the fish. And then once they got the fish in, they would split the fish with the dolphins.
That's awesome.
And it was like like working together. So my first thought was, that sounds great, but is it real? You know what I mean? Because I know dolphins are intelligent. Like it has the makings of being real, but how did it start and the training over time? So then I started to research it, and I found that it actually takes place in 3 different areas in the world. One is off of the coast of Brazil, and there was like a big study done on the one in Brazil. And there, my favorite part of the first story was it sounds like they would like call them in and be like, all right, we're ready to fish. But it seems as though the study, when they did it, and they interviewed like 270 different fishermen that do this practice there off of the coast of Brazil and talked to them about it, a place called Laguna. And my memory's getting better than I thought. Okay, all right. Is that I take that supplement from Wilderness Athlete, the mind one, so it's working. Anyhow, they would the fishermen would go out and the dolphins would be like, okay, this guy's set up in the right spot. I can push him there. And they would do like a big tail slap that would like notify the fishermen like it's about to go down. They're right here. The motor right here. So then they would push the fish in, and then right before the fish were like almost there, the dolphin would like nosedive super deep to let them know like throw now. And then they would throw. And based on the study that they did with 270 fishermen and days and days and days of it, they're running about 48% average of success of net throwing.
Okay.
Sweet.
And then they would split the catch with the dolphins as well. So this happens in 3 areas. The one in the study in Brazil, those scientists said that it happens in 2 other places. One being Southeast Asia, which is where I saw the TikTok video. But they said that it's either declining or done, like not happening anymore. But they like don't know who started this relationship in order to get it going, and but it happens in 3 different places. It just shows you the intelligence of the dolphins. And like they said that the fishermen are watching the dolphins, but through the studies, they were like, the dolphins are probably paying more attention to the fishermen than the fishermen are the dolphins. Like they are like strategizing like this idiot can never get this, so I got to go over here. Like deep thought and strategy to it.
Yeah, making sure it is efficient.
Yeah, there's videos too of it happening, which
Here
is
comes
cool.
Jerry's boat. He's part of the 52%. Don't go over there.
Not go over there. No.
No, it's from shore. It looks like they drive them into shore to get them into the shallows.
Really?
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, makes you really stop and think too how intelligent dolphins are and orcas, who want to kill you.
That's right.
Yeah.
No,
As it turns out, the
Not
same
once ever.
practice was also used off the southern coast of Africa with seals. But then the seals started biting the fishermen because they got rabies. So
Oh, I knew it.
That part was not true.
no.
The other, ironically though, I thought you were headed somewhere because I believe the third location was off the coast of Australia somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
I said Africa.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Oh, you did? I heard what I wanted to hear. That's what I do. But you had one other one, didn't you?
My bit also comes from the ocean,
Wow.
and I was telling you guys, AJ, about it the other day. It is Point Nemo or Nemo Point, and it was discovered roughly 30 years ago, and it's named Point Nemo because Nemo is
The fish
the
in the
movie,
Disney,
yeah.
Yep. They found it.
comes from the novel with Captain Nemo
Oh,
and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yep.
The Disney
Man, that
movie.
fish could go deep.
And
It's not the fish.
Nemo is Latin for no man. So this point that was discovered 30 years ago, and it was only discovered 30 years ago because we didn't have the technology to be able to know it existed, is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and it is the most secluded place on Earth from man. It's roughly 1,600 miles away from land.
Is it a land mass?
How did sort of? Yeah, you can go there. It's just very hard to get to, and
Right.
like rich people go there to swim.
Okay.
But it's a land.
only women are allowed there. No man.
Boo.
Where did you hear this?
TikTok or something?
Yeah, because so Ryan has access to the TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook and stuff. So and YouTube. So he and I feed off each other's algorithms. So he'll see stuff that I'm interested in, I'll see stuff that he's interested in because our apps that track us are connected to to our phones. And it's so funny because I just researched that because everyone kept saying that Hawaii was the most secluded place on Earth, and then because the Manta Ray guide said that, a few different people said it to me, and I was like, I better Google that to be sure because people are just saying it, and it's like, no, it's not true. I read all about that little island.
It's not an island.
Well, it's like a little.
It's just coordinates. It's just the middle of
You
the ocean.
can't walk on it.
No,
Really?
no. They
then
talk about it as though it's a piece of land, but it's not.
It's just where it's
It's
at.
just they'll go, yeah, this is the most secluded place on Earth, 13,000 feet down.
Oh, see what I read is about a little tiny island that is a landmass that is the most secluded one on Earth, and it I was like, oh crap, Hawaii, because I was doing it for that voiceover. Hawaii is the most secluded inhabited landmass in the world.
Which, yeah. The Point Nemo is literally just a set of coordinates. If you go there, you are the farthest you can possibly be from any sort of land.
That's probably where we'd fall in. No, in our luck.
and it's 4 kilometers deep. It's something.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's really, really deep water. But that area is also a spacecraft graveyard. So because it's such an open vastness of
Bermuda
ocean,
Triangle.
yes, exactly.
Still wrong place.
Wrong side of the earth. When they're done with these spacecraft, they just, with whatever little bit of fuel is left, they set the trajectory right to land right there in the ocean. And so between 1971 and 2016, it was something like 260 spacecraft from all different countries have been crashed right there. And they're planning between 2024 and 2030 decommissioning the International Space Station and crashing it there.
Really?
Yeah. So pretty soon that giant piece of
Geographically,
machinery,
where is it at?
like South Pacific.
Okay.
There was also a more mysterious thing that happened at Point Nemo,
Oh.
or in this area of the ocean, called the bloop.
Mm-hmm.
And the bloop was they record sounds and seismic activity and just things going on in Earth. Well, in this part of the ocean, they recorded this noise. They're like, what is that? And I guess for a while, it just went undiscovered what this like weird noise was that they never heard this noise before. They know what certain sounds are. This one, they are like, no clue. It's a really strange noise. Don't know what it is. And it was like almost cryptid type stuff, like mystery. As it turns out, it was a nice iceberg breaking. That's all it was.
Oh, you're kidding.
Like,
They
for
didn't
some
already have the sound of an iceberg breaking?
it was at such scale And like the sound it made, they're like, we don't know what this is.
Oh.
And then finally, maybe they were able to replicate
Guys,
it
is
in
this
some way.
an iceberg?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would be cool to go to Point Nemo one day.
Can you imagine? You're on a fishing boat.
I feel like you'd
Something
get there and be
goes
pretty let
wrong.
down.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong, and now you're just adrift at sea. But you're one of those people. You got a lot of resources. You figure out how to turn ocean water into drinking water. You're adrift for 2 months. And then all of a sudden you look up and you've survived all this time, only to be crushed by the International Space Station.
Your story reminded me of two things. The first one is I just Googled Jeffrey. I think it's Bouvet, but it's Bouvet Island. VET. Bouvet.
Bouvet,
Okay.
maybe if it's French.
Bouvet Island, also known as is considered the most remote uninhabited island in the world. Location is in the South Atlantic Ocean at the southern end of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, 2,500 kilometers southwest of South Africa. Its size is 49 square kilometers, and it features a volcanic island with an ice-covered crater, steep cliffs, and an inactive volcano in the center. So
Sounds like a pretty cool island.
Yeah, it does.
very Epstein vibes. And then, no, I'm just kidding.
South Atlantic.
And then the other point that I wanted to make was, so there's scientists that were like studying different whale calls, and they started to get this one whale call in this area, and it was at 52 hertz, which they don't have any whales, any known species that calls at that frequency. And they were trying to track down and see what it was, but the frequency remains unused by any species on record, and its patterns of repetition and sequencing are shorter and more unpredictable than any other species. Another interesting detail is that 52, as this whale has become known, has qualities of both fin and blue whales. So that like it's got qualities of like it's somewhere in the middle of those two things. And it was calling out, so they only nicknamed this whale that they've never seen. They think it's a species we've never seen. They call it the 52 hertz. That's the name of the whale right now that we've never seen. And it could either be out there or what got me, because this all was in my research for Hawaii. I was like looking up any fact that you could ever look up. And what was interesting about it to me was like, they're like, yeah, so we think it might be the last one of its kind, and it's just looking for a mate, but it never will find it. I'm like, where the hell do you get the confidence to say that it's the last one there? And they're like, yeah, because we'd know about the other ones. I'm like, you don't know about this one.
Yeah, right.
Like, it was such a weird thing to me. I just got done reading about how uncharted the ocean is, and it's like some scientists are like, yeah, we've seen it all. It's the weirdest thing.
That's
it's like
crazy.
The community has, first, they don't know how to decide how much we've really seen. They don't know. And like, I'm trying to put this voice together about Hawaii, because the premise for the first episode is like, you know, we're spearfishing, we're jumping off cliffs into the ocean, we're diving at night with manta rays. Like, it's like exploring the ocean, and like, here's how much the ocean isn't explored. And I thought like looking up facts for that was gonna be so simple. The problem is like, if we put our name on it, it goes on History Channel. They quadruple check everything we do. We quadruple check everything we do, and we have to carry some stupid amount of insurance in case I'm wrong. Literally, have to pay money for an insurance in case errors and omissions come into play. Although I kind of want to cash in on it, so give me some time. But I was like, this will be easy to find. It's like nobody agrees on how much we've searched, and these people are like, yep, this will be the last one of its kind. I'm like, bitch, you don't even know you don't even know that one.
You don't know anything.
It's like, how are you gonna say that?
And we discover new species every year down there.
Yeah,
Easily.
and they're saying that and then somebody said that we've only even looked at maybe 15% of the species in the ocean. Like they think that, but then somebody else is like, we're probably at about 70% now. So the arguments are there. It's kind of like us producing an episode in general. It's like Jeff gives a dumb idea, AJ slams them, me and Ryan come up with the good ideas, and that's that. You know what I mean?
The Greenway Outdoors is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Savage Arms, Nosler Ammunition, Bosch Shot Shells, Wilderness Athlete, fuel for the rugged, Tracker Boats, fish the finest, Eagle Fishing, designed for the savvy angler, Rufus Teague Barbecues, Snacks, and Spices, Rectech Grills, it's more than a grill, it's a way of life, Sea-Doo, make your own waves, LEM Products, motivating people to hunt, process, and prepare their own food, Quiet Cat, the leader in electronic bikes for hunting, fishing, camping, and exploring. Consistency. That's what you aim for with every practice shot. So when you're out in the field, you get that same consistency every shot. With Carlson's choke tubes, consistency is what you'll get. Our choke tubes are long-lasting, high quality, and made right here in the USA. Carlson's choke tubes, pattern tested, hunter approved. Find out more at choketube.com.
Are you anxious to get going? Knowing that the clock is ticking and time truly is the most precious commodity in the world? Then you, my friend, are in good company.
So this story that you just said also reminded me of another story that I had read, and this is from Quill and Pat. I just did a quick Google search, and I'm going to read you guys the story because it's just fun to think about. I wish it could be us, but unfortunately, time is our enemy on this one.
Dang.
So, time travel at sea. How the SS Warramoo was in two different days, 2 different months, 2 different years, 2 different seasons, and 2 different centuries, all at the same time. The SS
Centuries.
Yeah.
Okay.
The SS Warramoo was a passenger ship launched in 1892 that sailed between Australia and New Zealand. Before providing service between Canada and Australia, the ship was converted to a troop transport in 1914 at the start of World War I before sinking in 1918 after a collision with the French warship Catapulte. The SS Warramoo would be long forgotten, but for an unusual story of how the ship managed to navigate to a position in which it would simultaneously existed in 4 different hemispheres and 2 different centuries. The SS Warramoo was quietly navigating the mid-Pacific on its way home from Vancouver to Australia. I'm going to try to skip some here. So the captain said, "We were only a few miles away from the intersection of the equator and the international dateline. Captain Phillips decided to take full advantage of the opportunity in exceptional navigational curiosity. He called his navigators to the bridge to double-check the ship's position. He changed course slightly and adjusted the engine speed to hit the exact right spot at the exact right time. Calm weather and clear skies at night made things easier. At midnight, the SS Warramoo lay across the equator at exactly the point where it crossed the international dateline. This resulted in the following. The forward bow of the ship was in the southern hemisphere in the middle of the summer, and the stern was in the northern hemisphere in the middle of winter, because the equator line separates.
Yep.
You're on opposite seasons.
Mm-hmm.
2, the date in the stern was the 31st of December, 1899, and the date in the bow was the 1st of January, 1900.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I pissed in 2 states once. I was able to go across one to the other.
Where?
I don't remember. I think it was
Washington, Idaho.
I think it was Oklahoma, Texas.
Texarkana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's all.
I want to do that.
So
before-
that's
That's,
basically
about,
the
that's
same
roughly equivalent.
thing. Yeah.
as navigating a ship across the Pacific. And
Being at an exact point at an exact time in the middle of the ocean.
That is kind of funny.
so the ship was simultaneously in 2 different days, 2 different months, 2 different years,
Yeah, would
2
you-
different seasons, and 2 different centuries.
For a guy that hates New Year's Eve, he sure likes the story.
I do hate
That's
it.
the ultimate New Year's Eve story.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. So
Yeah.
that's it. You're done. So,
I'll piss the bed.
so yeah. Why don't you go
Piss
away?
his
Speak
we
now
will-
or forever hold your piss.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Green Way Outdoors podcast. If you enjoyed this, not sure, you should get checked out. But if you enjoyed this podcast and you're only listening to it, you can actually watch it on YouTube and Carbon TV, or check it out on Spotify now, where you can watch podcasts as well. And obviously find it everywhere podcasts are found. Season 1 of our History Channel series is on Tubi right now. It's called Season 4. When you go there, go check that out, as well as Carbon TV, Roku, and a bunch of other places, as well as History Streaming. But our new season will be coming out October 19th on the History Channel. And we're also going to have a big premiere party at Bass Pro Shops on October 12th in Auburn Hills, Michigan. You can find those tickets for sale. Go to our Facebook, check out the post there, click the link, and buy your tickets there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay green. Let's go make that video.